tonight.
Choose this moment to challenge this generation and the next to make sure this record is not long-lived.
Millions watching as a modern-day moon mission sparks possibilities for humans that are out of this world.
And they're going to see the whole of the far side of the moon. It's a view that no one has ever seen, no human eyes ever seen before.
Artemis II making history, surpassing Apollo 13's distance record set decades ago. Canadian Airlines announced a new fuel surcharge.
This will have a domino effect where these prices won't just go right back to pre-war times.
The cost of flying set to soar as gas prices rise. Plus, the fight for federal public servants to have workplace flexibility gets more political backing.
This return to work policy is really not taking into consideration the needs of our rural constituents.
Why the mayor of Casselman is joining the chorus and calling for regional sites closer to home for those living on the capital's outskirts. Good evening. Patricia is away tonight. We begin with a historic moment in space exploration. In just 45 minutes, the Artemis II mission will fly around the far side of the moon, an incredible and record-breaking accomplishment. But that is not the only first today. This afternoon, the 4 astronauts officially ventured where no humans have gone before.
As we surpass the furthest distance humans have ever traveled from planet Earth, we do so in honoring the extraordinary efforts and feats of our predecessors in human space exploration.
That was the moment around 2 o'clock this afternoon when astronauts Jeremy Hansen, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Reed Wiseman traveled farther into space than anyone before. They were around 406,000 kilometers from the Earth. The previous record was set by the Apollo 13 crew in 1970, and this hour, they are set to once again write their names into the history books with a record-breaking lunar flyby. This is a live stream of the Artemis II mission, which is currently in what's called the lunar observation period. The crew will soon get a chance to see both the near and far sides of the moon, including parts of the lunar surface that have never been seen before. So around 6:45 p.m., Mission Control will temporarily lose communication with the crew as the Orion spacecraft travels behind the moon, cutting off radio signals. At 7:07, they will reach the furthest point from Earth. Communications should resume around 7:25 p.m. and then at 8:35 tonight, the astronauts will get to witness a rare total solar eclipse from space. Lots of excitement surrounding this historic moment. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us now with more on that. Dylan.
Stefan, this mission is a first in so many ways, not just in terms of space exploration, but also for Canadians who were not alive to experience the Apollo missions. Now, an entirely new generation is having its interest piqued by the great unknown of space.
The Earth is just a small crescent out there. It's magnificent. I got a picture of it with the wide lens. Such a majestic view out here.
Pushing the limits to where no human has gone before.
It's a big day. Like I said, it's been forever since I've done it, and I'm curious to see, what they discover.
As Artemis II makes its trip around the far side of the moon, it has high schooler Vishal Somasundaram dreaming about the possibilities of space.
We have this world in front of us, but I think the fact that there's a whole, there's a galaxy out there, there's stars, planets, all of that really interests me.
Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen making history Monday, documenting never-before-seen aspects of Earth's moon. His mission is igniting curiosity for those back here on Earth and in Ottawa at the Canadian Aviation and Space Museum.
We knew they'd have something to come check out, and they've got lots of stuff to do all around kind of the perimeter of the museum, from photo opportunities to now we're playing with a 3D printed model of a moon crater.
We've been following it. We saw a couple of pictures and video on the internet, and we really wanted to bring the kids and find out more about this moment.
They've memorized what the moon looks like. They know the craters. They know exactly what parts they need pictures of. And they don't just need one picture of each spot. They need pictures as they approach from here, pictures from here, pictures from there, because the lighting and the angles are different.
And a message from Jeremy Hansen to Earth.
choose this moment to challenge this generation and in the next to make sure this record is not long-lived.
This mission monumental today and inspiring the future of space exploration.
I want to help. I really want to help discover what's out there. You know, make bounds for technology, make bounds for human exploration, and yeah, see where it takes me.
Artemis II is expected to end its observations and documentation of the moon around 9:20 p.m. tonight and should exit the moon's gravitational pull tomorrow afternoon as Jeremy Hansen and the rest of the crew make their way back to Earth, a journey that should take 4 days with their return scheduled for April 10th. Stefan.
CTV's Dylan Dyson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Dylan. We will check in on the NASA live stream throughout the newscast, and you can stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the Artemis II mission. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and watch CTV News channel at any hour. The cost of air travel is going up just as people start planning for summer vacations. Canada's major airlines are adding new surcharges as the war in Iran continues to drive up jet fuel prices. CTV's Josh Morano is here to tell us how this will impact us. Josh.
Yes, Stefan, while these fees aren't being added to every booking, they are becoming more common. Airlines say it's tied to rising fuel costs, but for travelers, it means paying closer attention to that final price before they book.
Where does it end?
At Ottawa International Airport, Frank Zink is preparing to fly home to Halifax and learning about the new surcharge airlines are adding to some flights.
Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I understand that there's the price of gas and that you know there's extra costs, but I think sometimes that companies just look for things to just tack on an extra fee.
Zink says while it's not impacting his trip, it's another item in a growing list of added fees.
When you go from Halifax to here and the price of the flight is $1,600 for 2 people, you start kind of questioning whether I'm going to invest in a 3-day trip for that. And so it just makes it a little more difficult.
As of Monday, Air Canada is adding a $50 surcharge to select vacation packages due to the increase in global fuel prices caused by the war in Iran.
I think that is reasonable. I don't like it, but it's sort of the world we're in right now, and I think businesses need to stay afloat, and that's what they need to do that.
It's a real challenge for travelers now when to buy. The answer is never going to be cheaper than it is today. It's only going to go up as we approach the summer months.
Other airlines are also raising prices. Porter and Air Transat have added similar fees, and WestJet also plans to add a surcharge on some bookings, along with canceling some flights in April and May.
This will have a domino effect where these prices won't just go right back to pre-war times. So that's going to have an effect on the airlines. And ultimately, the surcharge, I think, is just the beginning. This could lead to much higher airfares.
Back at the airport, Zink says that domino effect is what he fears. Air travel may soon be too expensive for him.
You start kind of questioning whether I'm going to invest in a 3-day trip for that. And so it just makes it a little more difficult. We're actually coming back here in August, and we've decided to drive because of the price of flights.
And as we mentioned, right now, these surcharges aren't added to every ticket. For Air Transat, it's just trips to Europe. For Porter and WestJet, only select bookings. And Air Canada, only sun destination packages, not individual tickets. All the airlines say these fees are temporary, but none have given an end date. Stefan.
CTV's Josh Morano reporting live for us. Thank you, Josh. The war is not only driving up jet fuel prices, but also the cost of gas and diesel. The price of regular gas sitting around 185 cents a liter at many stations downtown today. Prices are expected to remain relatively steady overnight. When it comes to the war, President Donald Trump is not backing down on his deadline for reopening the Strait of Hormuz. He says Iran must allow ships to pass through by tomorrow night, but it's unclear if the two countries will be able to reach a deal by then. CTV's Judy Trin has the latest.
As crowds gathered to watch children roll Easter eggs across the White House lawn, the U.S. president touted his war in the Middle East.
That enemy is strong, not so strong like they were about a month ago.
The example Donald Trump cited was Iran's failure to capture 2 U.S. airmen. The F-15, a $100 million fighter jet, was shot down by a shoulder-propelled missile. The pilot was found by special forces within hours, while the weapons technician climbed up a cliff and hid for 48 hours. The White House presented his rescue as their Easter story.
Shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave, a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday.
The Americans used 155 aircraft and launched decoys to confuse the Iranians about the location of the second airman.
Our intelligence reflects that the Iranians were embarrassed and ultimately humiliated.
The Trump administration says Iran will face further humiliation if it doesn't reopen the Strait of Hormuz on Tuesday. The White House says it will bomb critical infrastructure like bridges and power plants.
The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
Meanwhile, Iran has rejected a ceasefire proposal. Trump's former national security advisor says the president is in a dilemma.
He's near meltdown. He'd love to get out of this and declare a victory, but he knows he can't do it as long as the Strait of Hormuz is closed.
This war, launched by the Americans and Israelis, is entering its 6th week. So far, 3,500 people have been killed, including 1,200 members of Iran's military, including some top officials. But 13 U.S. soldiers have also died. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Still ahead, sweetening the season with a visit to a sugar shack. Details of the slow start to syrup production that's now seeing liquid gold flowing in abundance. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature right now is 2 degrees. Now for a first check on the weather forecast, Jackie is joining us in studio tonight. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. It was a cold, windy day in the capital. Not really feeling spring-like. There were times that we saw traces of light flurries moving through, and we're not quite done with winter yet. To take a closer look at temperatures across Eastern Ontario, yeah, we are hovering around 3 degrees. And you may notice a couple of these icons where we do see some light flurries, mix of rain moving through, depending on where you are in the region. Overnight, going down to about -3. We could see a few flurries moving in. The wind gusts really picking up to 40 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, we will likely see, don't be surprised to see 2 to 4 centimeters of light snow moving in. And that's just here in Ottawa. Parts of Eastern Ontario could see brief, intense snow into the overnight and in the early morning commute, where we could see between 4 to 10 centimeters of snow. And this is really focused around Kingston, Brockville, and the Smiths Falls area. So we are keeping a very close eye on this as well. And you can see the intensity really pick up between 4 and 7 a.m., especially along the Seaway and along the 401 corridor as well. We'll get a closer look at this and your long-term forecast in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Local politicians in Eastern Ontario are calling on the federal government to change its approach to its return to office mandate. The mayor of Casselman wants the government to set up regional offices so employees can stay closer to home. Right now, public servants are making the 40-minute drive from Casselman to Ottawa 3 days a week. But starting this summer, they'll have to commute 4 days. CTV's Kimberly Johnson is joining us with more. Kimberly.
Stefan, the call to set up regional work options has the backing of other Eastern Ontario municipalities as well. They say the move would better create work-life balance and help businesses in these smaller communities.
Federal workers flocked to areas outside Ottawa when remote work mandates went into effect during the pandemic. And now there are concerns about the plan to require employees to work in the office more frequently.
This return to work policy is really not taking into consideration the needs of our rural constituents.
The mayor of Casselman says the plan to require all employees to work in the office 4 days a week starting in July will come at the expense of rural areas that rely on residents staying in town.
If people are always outside in Ottawa and having to leave the rural areas, then it's not really giving us the opportunity to necessarily build infrastructure, community infrastructure around their needs.
Lajoie is calling for the federal government to set up regional offices for public servants, something many Casselman residents agree with.
Even the people in government being closer to their own communities to help the people in their communities. Probably have to go into work once in a while, but yeah, I'm all for it.
I don't think we really need to be worried about
where people are working, as long as they're getting their jobs done, that's the important part.
The Treasury Board says having federal employees work in person boosts collaboration and culture. But another concern, traffic. Not having federal workers on the roads into downtown Ottawa every day sounds good to Camille Villeneuve, who frequently drives into the city.
I'm a nurse at the Ottawa Hospital. I don't have a choice to go in and out, but just to have that minimized traffic during the weekdays is honestly almost a godsend.
There are also concerns about how the new remote work mandate could impact small businesses in these rural communities.
We need to pay for our own businesses. We need to help support our local entrepreneurs as well.
The move to bring federal employees into the office 4 days a week does have some support here in the city, including from Mayor Mark Sutcliffe, who says that it would help downtown businesses. Stefan.
CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting live for us. Thank you, Kimberly. We have extended coverage of what federal public servants need to know about the return to office mandate. Just go to our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. Transit riders will receive an update this week on the efforts to address the LRT axle issue and the timelines to return service to normal levels. The O train has been running single-car service since early January after a problem was detected in the axle bearing assembly. There are still only 22 cars available for service. Staff will provide an update on a plan to increase vehicle availability at Thursday's Transit Committee meeting. The Ottawa Senators are in talks with the PWHL about the future of Ottawa's team. This comes as support continues to grow for the Charge, which set a new attendance record at the Canadian Tire Centre just last week. And now the president of the Ottawa Senators is suggesting the team could play even more games at the city's biggest arena. CTV's Austin Lee joins us now with more on the latest comments from Cyril Leader. Austin.
Yes, Stefan, in an interview on TSN, Leader said the Sens are in discussions with PWHL officials after the Charge brought in more than 17,000 fans Friday night. That total setting a new record for largest home crowd for the Charge. The team is averaging about 7,200 fans at TD Place Arena this season, but the city is planning to reduce the capacity for the new arena at Lansdowne 2.0. In response, the VP of Business Operations with the PWHL, Amy Shear, said a capacity reduction would hurt the team.
Obviously, they want to look at alternatives to playing downtown. And they've said that, they've expressed that they're not sure that a 5,000-seat arena is going to be good for them long term. So we're having ongoing discussions with them. I know they agonized about putting the game here on Good Friday because we did play Thursday, Saturday, Sunday with 50,000 Senator fans here, but it turned out great. We had almost a full house.
Now, the plan for the arena at Lansdowne 2.0 includes a total capacity of 6,600, and that is a reduction of nearly 2,000 spectators. Leader was also asked about the future of a new arena at LeBreton Flats. He says planning is still underway, adding the club is now working on land rehabilitation, figuring out transportation for fans, and partnerships with First Nations groups. Stefan.
All right, very interesting conversation and developments. Thank you for this update, Austin. In the meantime, Ottawa Charge head coach Carla McLeod is stepping away from the bench to focus on her cancer treatment. McLeod announced she was diagnosed with breast cancer last November. At the time, she said she would continue her coaching duties. However, in an update today, the Charge said she will be away for an undetermined amount of time. The team says she remains in good spirits and is focused on her health and recovery.
We can do about 350 of finished gallons syrup at a time.
Just ahead, it's a cold spring, but a warm season for the producers of maple syrup, welcoming families over the Easter long weekend. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Steph. It's going to be quite some time before we see double-digit temperatures closer to the end of the week. Tomorrow, though, chillier day, -6 to kick things off. We'll feel closer to -14. Keep in mind the flurries will carry us until closer to the noon hour. We will get some sunshine, though, but those wind gusts will get up to 40 kilometers per hour for most of our Tuesday, and it'll feel a lot colder than -1. That's our daytime high for tomorrow. Right now, though, temperatures are sitting at 2 degrees. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam showcasing McDonald Cartier Bridge. A little bit cloudy, too, not much in terms of sunshine.
First responders are a family that is 4 times as likely to suffer from mental health disorders. The Ottawa First Responders Foundation provides wellness supports for currently serving and retired Ottawa fire, police, and paramedic personnel and their families. In this family, no one stands alone. Help support those who are there for you. For information and to make a donation, visit ottawafrf.ca.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:21, just seconds away from 6:22. This is a live look at the Queensway this hour. Certainly giving you holiday feels, lighter than usual volume, smooth sailing ahead, and no major collisions to report. The colder than normal spring temperatures have provided perfect conditions for maple syrup producers. Families took advantage of Easter Monday to tap into what's left of the season. CTV's Camille Wilson has more.
The pancakes are yummy, and they're also fluffy.
Easter Monday calls for a pancake breakfast for the Adoro family.
We're just here to eat breakfast. We don't come every year to Wheelers, but we usually pick one of the sugar bushes to come and have breakfast as a family.
The family drove 90 minutes from Barrhaven to the Wheeler Pancake House. Was worth every moment.
We love pancakes, so what a nice day to be out as a family and enjoy pancake and chat.
We've been to Wheelers a couple times, and we enjoyed their breakfast last year, so we thought we'd come back again.
This business was started in the 1970s by Vernon and Judy Wheeler. It's grown to include their 4 children and 10 grandchildren.
Our main goal here is to make exceptional maple syrup, but also share that with the world. So Dad's always been such a collector of maple syrup things, thus the Guinness World Record of maple syrup production artifacts.
From the tree. But once the tree
There are 46,000 maple trees here, one of the largest in Ontario.
I think we're also going to get some maple taffy too. Yeah, it's amazing.
Other than maple syrup, another great maple option, maple taffy on snow. Heated up at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's thick enough to not go through the snow. Maple over everything. Tastes so good.
It's been a really good season. More traditional with a start at early March, kind of March break. The sap started running, and right now we're at about a liter per tap. That's the goal. So anything after now is just extra. So it's been a really good season.
The Wheelers serve nearly 900 people a day, many on Easter weekend.
I'm here for my birthday today. So I've never been to Wheeler's Pancake House, so we thought we'd come here as a family for my birthday and celebrate.
And for the Adoro family, after some pancake breakfast, it's time to enjoy the rest of what the Sugar Bush has to offer.
We might go and walk around they have a couple trails here, so maybe check one of those out. It's beautiful weather.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
While the colder temperatures are good for maple syrup producers, many of us are hoping for some warmer weather. The high today was only 3 degrees, and there was even a little bit of snow on the ground this morning. The forecast also calls for flurries tonight, but the good news is warmer temperatures are set to return later this week. We may even have hit a high of 4 degrees. So maybe you got a little extra bonus point in there. Jackie's here with a full look at the forecast.
For us here in Ottawa, yes, that extra bonus point. If you are along the Seaway, so our friends in Kingston, Brockville, not delivering some great news today. A special weather statement is in effect where you could see between 4 to 10 centimeters going into the overnight. So it could lead to a messy, wintry and snowy commute for those along the Seaway and the 401 corridor. We are keeping a very close eye on this, but right now it's looking at mainly clear skies for here in Ottawa. Again, 3 degrees current temperature. As we look towards tonight's lows, we are hovering it down around -5 along the Seaway. There's already been a little bit of that light flurries moving through, a little bit of precipitation in terms of rain as well. -7 is the overnight low for Ottawa. Around the valley, temperatures are going down to -11. Now, tomorrow's daytime highs, typically this time of year, we should be seeing temperatures closer to 8-9 degrees, but we are nowhere near this, where temperatures are still hovering around the freezing mark. The good news is the conditions will improve by the time we get to the afternoon, so don't be surprised by the time 7 a.m. rolls around, you're heading out the door. You will need your winter gear, because here in Ottawa, we'll see some light flurries moving through with Smiths Falls, Brockville, and Kingston. Again, that heavier snow moving in. It should clear the area. The system should clear the area around the noon hour, where we will see lots of sunshine moving through as well. And this will carry us into our Thursday. Now, as we look at temperatures across the country, well, it's pretty warm in St. John's, 7 degrees, but there is that rain moving in as well. Charlottetown, a mix of that rain and snow. 3 degrees is the current temperature. As we make our way back here to Ontario, -4 in Sudbury, -5 in Thunder Bay. Windsor, while it is 7 degrees, there is thunderstorms moving through as well. When we look towards Western Canada, temperatures are hovering around the freezing mark. 1 degree in Regina and Saskatoon, 2 in Calgary, with a mix of sun and cloud. And as we look at Vancouver, slightly jealous of this, where daytime high right now is sitting around 15 degrees. Again, we're not going to see this until perhaps Thursday. This 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers. Join them at the 55 Plus show at the EY Center, April 10th and 11th. Now, Tuesday, daytime high, sitting around the freezing mark. Few flurries in the morning. Wednesday and Thursday, even Friday, we'll get drier conditions. Sunshine for a Wednesday and Thursday. I am eyeballing Thursday, though, 14 degrees, the daytime high, and that's when we'll start to trend to warmer, much steadier, double-digit temperatures, really into the weekend and perhaps into Monday. We're going to ignore that 70% chance of rain because 18 degrees is looking pretty sweet.
Looking very sweet. I typically don't eyeball the -8 overnight, but it really caught my eye on Wednesday there, Jackie.
You're going to be asleep.
Okay.
It's okay. That's all right.
Thank goodness.
Well, I think it's going to take more than some ads, because the thing is that he's built up his brand over the last number of years. It's been very clear.
Coming up, a new approach by Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. An ad campaign reflects a personal touch.
Tonight, traversing uncharted territory.
We would like to call it Carol. You spell that C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
A poignant moment on the Artemis mission as astronauts aim for the far side of the moon. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Ahead of next Monday's by-election, CTV News has seen new ads from the federal Conservatives, and they indicate a shifting strategy and message from the leader. CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Graham Richardson has more on the new approach and whether the push to rebrand will even make a difference.
It is more pro-Canada, less anti-liberal.
By a country that stands on its own feet.
A new campaign by Conservatives launching on Tuesday.
A country that is unbreakable.
All part of a slight reboot in tone from Poilievre.
Pierre Poilievre has always done a superb job at holding the Liberals accountable in the House of Commons, and everybody has seen that. And I think Canadians have asked to see other aspects of his leadership style, things that have always been there.
History showcasing a leader who is less attack dog and more personal. Here he is last week on the UK podcast Diary of a CEO, speaking about his daughter, who has autism.
She's so much fun. Like, she's a fun little girl. She loves to jump. She's scared of nothing. If anything, the problem is she's a bit too much of a daredevil.
Last week, letting media know again he's in regular contact with the Prime Minister, briefing him on his recent tour in the United States.
We're supposed to speak on the phone, and I'm going to give him a greater update.
So will this work? Pollsters suggest the Conservatives have a deep hole to dig out of, especially on leadership.
Well, I think it's going to take more than some ads, because the thing is that he's built up his brand over the last number of years. It's been very clear. It's been tough. It's been combative. And, you know, all of a sudden, they see a bit of a softer Pierre Poilievre. It's going to take a persistent and consistent strategy.
The Nanos data suggests that Poilievre is still 30 points behind Mark Carney in who Canadians see as the best Prime Minister. Still, they believe when the Carney honeymoon ends, this new tone from Poilievre will break through with more voters. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ottawa.
In tonight's Big Picture, a church in northern Colorado celebrated Easter in a unique way. A helicopter dropped 6,000 eggs filled with candy over the churchyard yesterday for an egg hunt. The pastor says he wanted to do something creative for the community. Hundreds of families were in attendance. This was the second year the church did a helicopter egg drop. Now to some other stories you need to know right now. The Ottawa Senators are in a playoff spot after a big win against the Carolina Hurricanes last night.
Pass fed back. Here goes. By Stutzer coming off the bench. In comes Tim Stutzer with a burst. Stutzer in. Oh,
Tim Stützle with a highlight reel goal in the first period to put the Sens up 2-1. Ottawa went on to score 4 more. The final 6-3. The Sens remain 1 point up for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. They're at home again tomorrow night, hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning at the CTC.
Give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow.
Sticking with the TCC, disappointing news for Goo Goo Dolls fans. The band has canceled its remaining Canadian tour dates, including the show that was scheduled to happen at the Canadian Tire Centre tonight. Lead singer John Resnick has pneumonia. All ticket sales will be automatically refunded. An Olive Garden is coming to the city's West End. The restaurant chain confirms it's opening a location at 675 Kirkwood Avenue, the former Eastside Mario's location at the Hampton Park Plaza at the corner of Carling and Kirkwood. The opening will mark a return of Olive Garden to the capital. There were 2 restaurants in Ottawa back in the 90s. It's set to open sometime this summer. It's a sure sign of spring. The big sweep is underway in Ottawa. The city is kicking off the annual Spring Street sweeping operations, with crews working to clean up all the winter dirt and debris on residential streets and sidewalks. Drivers are reminded to watch out for temporary no parking signs over the next 2 weeks. And a reminder to check your garbage collection calendar this week. There was no garbage or recycling pickup today. It's delayed by 1 day all week long because of the Easter holiday. It's week 2 of the new garbage schedule, meaning garbage day has changed for tens of thousands of households right across the city.
They prey on wanting this love, wanting attention, wanting someone in their actual life in their later years.
Just ahead, lawyers are fighting to bring a Canadian woman home from a prison in South Korea after she fell victim to a romance scam that ended with her becoming a drug mule.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
A BC woman is locked up in a South Korean jail. Her lawyers say she thought she was meeting the man of her dreams, but instead she was caught transporting illegal drugs as part of an alleged elaborate romance scam. CTV's Andrew Johnson brings us that story.
Inside this South Korean jail, Spring Parks of Surrey, BC, has been locked up for more than 2 months.
Her spirits are okay, not great, but okay. She is in prison, and it's not a pleasant place to be anywhere.
The 59-year-old is deaf and struggles to communicate. She was caught entering South Korea with close to 4 kilograms of methamphetamine hidden in the bottom of her bag.
The prosecutors, naturally, when they see this amount of drugs and drugs being brought in, they don't believe the allegation that this was a scam.
But that's exactly what Park's defense team is convinced of after learning more about her story of traveling from Vancouver to meet a man she'd fallen in love with online, who they say first had her pick up a bag in South Africa.
They prey on wanting this love, wanting attention, wanting someone in their actual life in their later years. Even incredibly intelligent people get caught up in this.
And for Parks, who lawyers say had no idea what was in the bag, then came the hard realization her new love was using her as a drug mule.
She had a difficult time processing this whole situation. She was very emotional and sad.
Her daughters, Andrea and Laureen, in Metro Vancouver, learned their mom was in a foreign jail in a single shocking text and haven't been able to speak to her.
It's a mix of like trying to stay strong and then feeling completely overwhelmed at the same time.
Since they first went public with their mom's story, they've also realized she is not alone.
Wow, this is really happening to a lot of people.
This is something like bigger than our mom at this point.
Vancouver lawyer Jason Tarno has represented several romance scam victims and says the scammers are sophisticated and rarely caught.
They're using burner accounts and burner phones and burner email addresses, and they're gone with the wind after their parcel gets intercepted.
The team representing Spring Parks feels a good outcome here would be a conviction where her disability is taken into account. She's given credit for time already served and is released in a few months. A bad outcome? Up to 10 years in prison. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Stocks and oil prices flip-flopped today ahead of Donald Trump's deadline to attack Iranian power plants. BNN Bloomberg's Lindsay Biscaya has more.
The U.S. stock market in particular made only hesitant moves today ahead of Tuesday's deadline. Equities rose for a fourth straight day, with the S&P 500 seeing its longest win streak since January. The TSX also continued to recover for a fourth consecutive session. Meanwhile, oil climbed once again, and bonds and the dollar wavered. And here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up, sitting at 71.86. West Texas Intermediate climbed 87 cents. Western Canadian Select is also up more than $5 to 80.51. And the TSX finished the day higher, just over 33,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
And we are just seconds away from a nerve-wracking but momentous period of time in the Artemis II mission. It's set to lose all communication with Earth any moment now. Let's listen in. The blackout will last about 40 minutes as the astronauts travel around the moon. Again, this is a live look at the Artemis II mission, this momentous occasion of a lunar flyby. This is the section where on the timeline of the agenda, NASA has said they expect to lose connection or communication with Orion, with the crew of the Artemis II mission.
And we have confirmation of loss of signal of the Orion spacecraft as it flies behind the moon. We expect to regain communications with them in another approximately 40 minutes. This was expected as their spacecraft is now out of direct line of sight with Earth and behind the moon. And this is a poignant moment as it's the first time in over 50 years that we have humans completely unreachable by anyone else on Earth. No matter how distant or secluded, we could reach anyone living on Earth, but while the crew flies behind the moon, it's simply impossible to make contact with them. This is a live view inside the Science Evaluation Room here at Johnson Space Center and just down the hall from Mission Control. This team has been monitoring the flyby all day as the team has continued capturing targets on the lunar surface.
All right, that was our breaking news confirmation direct from NASA. Breaking news, but it was on the schedule. They have lost communication with the Artemis II crew. Again, it was scheduled. This blackout period will last about 40 minutes, and then around 7:25 p.m., it should come back. Then at 8:35 tonight, the astronauts will get to witness a rare total solar eclipse from space. It has already been a very historic day. The 4 astronauts have traveled farther into space than any humans have done before them.
We will make one trip to Niagara Falls because, I mean, it's, let's say, one of the go-to places in the world.
The FIFA World Cup takes over Toronto in June. Might the summer of soccer kick off a great tourism season right across the province? Stay with us. In just over 2 months, the FIFA World Cup kicks off, and while Toronto plays host to 6 matches, new research reveals Ontario is likely to benefit from fans looking to explore further afield while they're here. CTV's Mike Walker reports.
The clock is quickly counting down until the FIFA World Cup, and excitement is growing among soccer fans from all over.
Concert brings everyone together. I'm a huge soccer fan.
Nick is visiting Toronto from Germany, and while he won't be here for FIFA, he plans to make the most of his trip traveling beyond the city limits.
So we will make one trip to Niagara Falls because, I mean, it's, let's say, one of the go-to places in the world, I guess.
And that's in line with new research for Destination Ontario that found 9 in 10 travelers are likely to explore other regions and destinations outside of Toronto during their FIFA World Cup trip. 54% are most likely to travel outside Toronto after the tournament ends.
We like to go to the wider areas. We love to just walk around Toronto, shopping as well, you know.
More than 1,400 people, mainly from the US, UK, France, and Germany, responded to the survey. They are all considering, planning, or have booked their trips to Toronto for the World Cup. The Niagara region is the top destination outside Toronto, followed by Ottawa, with southwest and northern Ontario and the Hamilton area rounding out the top 5. Most respondents plan to stay an average of just 5 days, and a majority are willing to travel up to 3 hours. The research notes that tourist choices are driven by travel time, cost, convenience, and transportation reliability. It also warns congestion could impact tourism destinations beyond Toronto. The report states the same themes reappear as barriers to going beyond Toronto, where limited trip time, overall budgets, the extra cost of traveling further, and concern about travel duration or congestion all dampen appetite for regional exploitation. For these tourists from the UK who just traveled to Niagara, they say it's all about accessibility and costs.
We did take this like a minibus thing. We did it as a all-included thing, so it was a lot cheaper and easier to do.
Only 11% of those surveyed have tickets to a match. The report notes travelers want clear guidance on food, navigation, attractions, travel times, budgets, and accommodations before and during their trip. Mike Walker, CTV News.
Coming together and being a community and celebrating together, I like that. And you meet a lot of people.
Thousands of meals bring the community together. Just ahead, we'll have more on the annual Easter dinner at the Ottawa Mission. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Just a reminder, a special weather statement is in effect for parts of Eastern Ontario. This includes Smiths Falls, Brockville, as well as Kingston, where in the overnight hours, including the morning commute, we could see brief, intense snow between 4 to 10 centimeters moving through very quickly. Now, here in Ottawa, we will anticipate a few flurries in the morning, but by the afternoon, we are expecting sunshine. By Thursday, we will warm up to 14 degrees, but right now, temperatures are hovering around the freezing mark. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's 3 degrees out there right now and a little bit of sunshine peeking through towards Parliament Hill and Chateau Laurier.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, the Ottawa Black Bear season is wrapping up with 2 games left, and one of the players will join us tomorrow. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Coming up in just a few minutes after the news, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, Extracted at 8, then Memory of a Killer at 9, and The Rookie at 10. With a final check on the weather forecast, here's Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. So we did see some light flurries moving through in the last few hours. We should get clear skies for the overnight, but by 3 a.m., this is when we're going to see a snowy weather system move through again. Parts of Kingston and Brockville and Smiths Falls could see between up to 10 centimeters of snow. Here in Ottawa, probably between 2 to 4 centimeters. It should clear by the noon hour, but temperature-wise, it's going to be a cold one, feeling more like minus 13 when you head out the door. So you're going to want your toque, you're going to want your thick coat. We're only getting to a daytime high of about 0. Wednesday, sunshine will return to the capital, 4 degrees the daytime high. And Thursday, things are going to be trending on the warmer side with double-digit temperatures and a daytime high of 14 degrees. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. And it's time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight at 11:30. Austin Lee will be on deck.
Yeah, thanks, Stefan. Today marks the 8th anniversary of the tragic Humboldt Broncos bus crash. It claimed the lives of 10 young hockey players and also injured 6 others. Tonight, we will highlight the legacy of one of those players, Logan Boulay. The 21-year-old's organs were donated 1 day after the crash, saving several lives and sparking Green Shirt Day, which is tomorrow. So we'll have more details on that. Of course, you can get the news anywhere, anytime at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Thank you, Austin. And finally for us tonight, volunteers came together to help serve up thousands of Easter meals at the Ottawa Mission over the weekend.
Coming together and being a community and celebrating together, I like that. And you meet a lot of people.
I know what it's like to be hungry. I've been in that situation. I know what it's like not to have an Easter or a Christmas meal. So it's nice that we're able to provide that for people that are in those situations.
The Waller Street facility was packed yesterday for the annual holiday meal, which included turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, stuffing, glazed carrots, and a slice of apple pie. The mission served a record 18,300 meals over the past week, including 16,000 from its food truck in the lead up to yesterday's dinner. What a feat and an undertaking. The Ottawa mission does it again.
They're always doing that. Eh?
Oh, yes.
It's impressive. I know, like, when we, so on the weekend, when we heard that it was a record-breaking total and everything, everyone was like, holy, 18,000 some odd meals?
Yeah.
It's always mind-blowing.
It's always up by 1,000 every year. It feels like in recent memory, and so we know the need is great. And if you can give and donate to the food bank or the mission or any of our local organizations, please do. That's it for us here at CTV News. You can always check us out online at ctvnewsottawa.ca or tune into 580 CFRA. Thanks for watching.